Sadnam. We are Jen and Ramtan from Heart Center Revolution.
Our intention with this podcast is to share the best of Kundalini Yoga and conscious living with you so you can live a more heart-centered life. Welcome to the 18th episode of the Heart Centered Revolution podcast. In this episode, we do a deep dive into the fifth chakra or throat chakra and how it relates to creative expression. At the end of the podcast, I will guide you through the 8-stroke breath for energy and stress release, a really amazing pranayam that I think in today's busy world we could all use. Before we jump into Ramtan's class, I wanted to share a little bit about the throat chakra. He does a deeper discussion, but just as a review, the throat chakra or the fifth chakra is the throat chakra. The element that it's related to is sound. The color is turquoise. In the body, it's associated with the throat, the thyroid, the jaw, the mouth, the tongue, and the ears. If your throat chakra is out of balance, you might feel insecure, anxiety, or a lack of freedom of expression. When it's in balance, you speak your highest truth, you communicate clearly, and you engage in creative expression. If you're feeling out of balance, you can balance your throat chakra by expressing yourself through chanting, sing, you can write, you can explore your inner child, drink soup with warming spices that soothe the throat. So focusing on the voice, expression, kind of getting your message out there can help open up and activate the throat chakra. So now we will transition into Ramtan's class on the fifth chakra. He actually starts his discussion with a discussion of the first 3 chakras because they relate to the ones above them.
Obviously, start from the first chakra. In order for us to have a strong third, all the chakras work together, right? They're none is separate from the other. And they're all working in alignment. When we want trying to strengthen a specific chakra within us, we have to have the other chakras also strengthened and in alignment with it. The fifth chakra, just a few facts about fifth chakra. Obviously, is about the fifth chakra is the throat area. It's in the shoulders and throat area, and obviously it has to do with our voice, our truth. And when we talk about voice and truth and the sound, is about creativity. Communication is important. The color associated with fifth chakra is blue. Light blue, sky blue. So when you chant also, if you want to strengthen and make your voice and the sound more expansive, you could think of the color, or add that color. We start now with the fifth chakra. The first 3 chakras are the lower triangle chakras that have to do with our individuality, emotion, and power and strength that we, as individuals, we bring in to this earth, and it has to do with the sense of belonging and where we are in our life. And it's important to create a foundation through the first chakra and build the relationships based on the foundation that we created. So with having the strong voice and sound, we have to have those chakras in alignment and to create that strong way of communication and creativity. So one of the challenges to have to do that kind of makes our sound, our fifth chakra, weaker is our own doubt and negative thinking. So positive thinking helps with strengthening and balancing the fifth chakra. So when we, what feelings, come to you, and how do you feel and the energy when you're able to expand your voice and sing and chant? What type of feelings come to you? How do you feel? How does it make you feel when you're able to just, have your voice heard, even just not even singing, but speaking out, speaking up, and even chanting, and singing. When you hear someone singing with a, expansive voice and loudly and just letting go, singing from the heart, how does that make you feel? Happy and joy.
At this point in the live class, a student shares that when she sees other people chanting with their full voice and full expression, or when she thinks about doing that herself, that she feels shy and gets quiet. Ramtin asks her why she thinks that is, and she shares that it's from a fear of being seen. And then Ramtin continues the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. That's where shyness comes from. That's why we hold our breath in. We don't speak as loud. We don't want to be heard because we're afraid of maybe saying something wrong. Even if it's our truth or not, you still don't speak it. So that creates some negativity within, right? So being able to speak out and voice our opinions and, that all those strengthen that fifth chakra. And it says here that the fifth chakra is linked directly to our own personal integrity and honor. So what we really believe in, what we truly believe in ourselves, we stay true with it, right? And if you don't do it, then we're hurting ourselves. So that's the first thing, really, to be, keep that integrity within and honoring our own feelings, who we really are. So, a couple of other things because we need to get going with our Kriya. The goal with the expanding and strengthening our fifth chakra is the full expression of who we are, of self. And we do that through creativity sometimes, through art. Singing is another one. That people that they really express how they feel through the voice and singing, right? The right is to speak out, to be heard. Now, if you're imbalanced in that area, in the fifth chakra area, we tend to have sinus issues, sinus infections, and we easily get cold and flu, sore throat, anything that has to do with neck stiffness, all that stuff has to do with our fifth chakra. Thyroid problems as well. And again, when we have certain emotional issues that occur, if we have a strength imbalance or weakened fifth chakra, not able to communicate what we want, our feelings, communication in general, not able to speak up when we want to, when we need to. And therefore, when we don't do that, when we are not voicing ourselves, our creativity kind of, dampens down. We don't allow ourselves to be the creative people persons and individuals that we are out to be out here. And when we also kind of hold everything in and not allow ourselves to be heard, when we voice our opinions, it's kind of hard to connect with other people too. We don't resonate with others. And that's where negative thinking starts to take over. And everything we see from our surrounding, good or bad, wrong or right, we have less of a compassionate attitude towards others as well. We don't resonate with what's going on. And therefore we seem like we're closed off, and we act even more selfish. And that affects our first and second chakra and third as well. So when we open ourselves and we start, having our voice heard out there, we naturally we're kind of forced into becoming more creative, to speak our truth, Because what we put out there comes back to us, becomes the law of attraction, right? So in a way to get out of our own shell, if you will, is to involve ourselves more and to speak out more. And as you do, the responses you get, your feedback you get, helps you to realize certain things about yourselves. And as you speak more, as you have, part of the fifth chakra is the sound and the communication is hearing and listening. So actually, when you do talk more, speaking your truth, and talking more, not being interruptive, and not allowing when you communicate, not allowing the other person to say anything, you're just talking and talking, that's not it. You actually become a better listener. Because you, first of all, you listen to yourself. You're hearing what you have to say yourself. And then you through resonating with others, you become a better listener as well. That enhances your own communication and your creativity as well. So part of strengthening the fifth chakra is purifying ourselves. Obviously, apana, our life force, prana, our life force, that, when we breathe, we become aware of that life force coming through our, nose and the throat. That has to do with it. So, prana and apana, our pranayams, have to do with purifying the throat chakra. That has to do with lungs and heart and everything else.
Okay, and that is it for Rompton's discussion for this episode. I just think it's interesting how the chakras all work together, like he was talking about in the beginning, especially when you're talking, when you're communicating. It's so important to speak from your navel. And so from that third chakra, that really is what powers your voice. But then it comes through your fifth chakra, through your throat, to give it the elements of voice and sound. But if you want people to really know you mean what you're saying, you have to get your third chakra involved as well. I also wanted to use this episode as an opportunity to challenge you. We are going through some crazy times. Things are getting hectic. And if you are on this path of Kundalini yoga and self-betterment and trying to identify your connection with others and increase compassion and heart-centered living, then this world needs to hear your voice more than ever. And so I really challenge you, if you're one of those people who is more shy or is more hesitant to put your perspective out there, put your voice out there, this world needs to hear from you. And so no matter how you do that, you can write a politician a letter or join a march or just offer a different perspective during a conversation that you're having. Speak up, share your point of view. Like I said, this world needs to hear from you. All right, now we'll transition into today's pranayam. Today's breathing practice is called 8-stroke breath for energy and stress release. And the quote says that the 8 strokes will make you watch and count the breath, and that will force you to relate to your breath. The best procedure is that you do this exercise every evening. 11 minutes a day of 8-stroke breathing can give you enough energy to balance your daily consumption of life and take you out of stress. Is it possible? Do you have 11 minutes? And so that's the quote that Yogi Bhajan left or said about this pranayam. It's a fairly basic one, but it's really enjoyable. So we'll just get started by sitting up tall, lifting up your heart, rotating your shoulders up, back, and down, really making sure your sitting bones are rooted into the earth. Your crown of the head is up to the heavens. Eyes are closed, focused at the third eye. Chin is tucked gently down and back. And we'll begin with a basic long, deep breath. Inhaling into the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhaling, chest, ribs, and belly. Take one more like that. Inhaling belly, ribs, and chest. Exhaling, chest, ribs, and belly. Beautiful. So we're gonna make sure your eyes are closed as long as you're not driving or walking, and concentrate on your breath. And then we're gonna inhale through the nose in 8 equal strokes. So it's like 8 equal sniffs of air. And then we're gonna exhale through the nose in 1 deep and powerful stroke. Inhale 8. Exhale 1 deep, powerful stroke. Inhale 8. Exhale 1 deep, powerful stroke. Beautiful. Continue this breathing pattern, focusing on your breath, on what it feels like to inhale in 8 separate sniffs. Exhaling powerfully. Both inhale and exhale are through the nose. Continuing with your breathing pattern, noticing if you're holding any tension in your face or your shoulders, just let it go. Begin to enjoy this breathing, inhaling in 8 equal strokes and exhaling in 1 deep, powerful stroke. Both are through the nose. All right. At the end of your next cycle, inhale deeply. Hold the breath. Holding the breath gently without tension in the face or the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath. Suspend the breath. Start rolling your shoulders as you hold the breath, rolling them back. Exhale powerfully. Inhale deeply, last one. Hold the breath, rolling the shoulders as fast as you can. Exhale and relax. Relax the shoulders, relax the face, relax the breath. Let the breath rate come to normal. Go inward. Check in with your mental, emotional, and spiritual state. And see what 8-stroke breath for energy and stress release had for you in just a couple minutes. And as a reminder, you can do this. They recommend to do it every evening for 11 minutes. It can give you energy and take you out of stress. So if that seems like a worthy goal, then you can set your timer for 11 minutes And then just inhale and hold your breath 3 times. And the last 2 times you rotate your shoulders, which feels fantastic. Okay, wonderful. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. All right, so that wraps up the 18th episode of the Heart-Centered Revolution podcast. If you would like to use your 5th chakra to help us out a little bit, you can share your opinion about this podcast on the iTunes website. So if you find our podcast in iTunes, just click that you want to rate and review, and you can share your opinion there. It would help us out a lot. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and may the longtime sun shine upon you. Sat Nam.